Enter the OUR's Guaranteed Standards Jingle Competition and win your share of almost $1 million. Entering is easy. Log on to our website, our.org.jm. Read the competition rules and the JPS and NWC Guaranteed Standards. Create your jingle, complete the entry form, and submit to gsjingle@gmail.com. How easy is that?
Good morning. I am Gordon Brown, Public Affairs Coordinator at the Office of Utilities Regulation, OUR. I take it that many persons in the meeting would have already known themselves, known each other. However, we have with us some music experts and teachers within the music fraternity. We also have Peter Gay Campbell and Elizabeth Bennett Marsh from the Office of Utilities Regulation with us. So it's a nice little mix, and we're hoping that more teachers will join us. However, to start, I will now ask Delroy Williams, Regional Director for Region 3, Ministry of Education, to let us have some prayer. Mr. Williams.
Thank you. I'm Community Relations Education Officer for Region 3. Let us pray. Father, Community Relations Education Officer.
Got it. Thanks so much.
All right. Let's pray. Father, we thank you, we praise you, we magnify your name because you're worthy to be praised. Oh God, we thank you, God, for today. This is a day you have made, and we want to rejoice and be glad in it. Even as we come together, Lord of God, in this meeting, in this workshop, in this webinar, just to learn more, we ask for your presence. We dare not proceed without you. And therefore, God, we ask you, God, for your presence. We ask you, you allow us, oh God, to understand, that give us clarity of mind and thoughts, even as we go through this session. And I pray that, oh God, for the success of this event, in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much, Mr. Williams, and appreciate the correction on the title.
That's all right.
Now, being a member of the Ministry of Education, I take it that you would be not necessarily somebody who is musically inclined. Is that so, Mr. Williams?
Didn't hear that. Go again.
I'm asking, although you're a part of the Ministry of Education, it is not necessarily so that you're musically inclined, but are you?
I'm not. I'm not.
Like myself.
I love music though.
I love music. I do not sing, music. I do not play any musical instrument, but I'd like to turn us to Mr. Matthew Silpot, Music Education Officer from the Ministry of Education, for the opening and welcome. Mr. Silpot, please go right ahead. I'm not sure if you're going to be singing for the entire time, but
no, sir.
That's up to you, sir.
Good morning, everyone. And a very happy new year to all of you. So all of you I'm seeing for the first time since the year has started. So a very happy new year to you, and I wish you all the best for 2021. I was on an interview recently, and they had asked me a question and said, what 2020 was like for me. And I just made the analogy that 2020 is associated with clear vision. And amidst what COVID had to offer, a lot of people took the negative side of it, but we had to do so much and go outside of the box and see things from different perspectives. And that's one of the reasons I want to laud the OUR for doing this initiative and coming on board to presenting this as an avenue for us to let our creativity speak for ourselves from our spaces. So I want to use this opportunity to thank you and to welcome our teachers and those of my esteemed colleagues that are here to this forum, and to make it work, pull minds together, guys. It's a competition, but at the end of the day, we have to be collaborative in the process as well. So enjoy the process, enjoy the learning, and learn as much as you can, because it's you make the musician. There's no age to start learning music, and there's no age to stop learning music, just as education. So all the best to you, all the best to those of our teachers who will be working with the students, and yeah, so have a great workshop, have a great day. I won't be singing, sir.
Well, we did hear you sing at the launch, although it was just to give us an example of a quick jingle. Thank you so much, Mr. Bedassi. Sorry, Mr. Silpot. I noticed that Mr. Bedassi,
is the singer.
he knows how to sing as well. And I see Miss Avery Crooks from JCDC is here as well. I take it that some of you would know each other, but it is not a necessity to have known each other before. But we would like you to all get to know each other because of the Guaranteed Standards jingle. Thank you so much, Mr. Silpot. I also make welcome Delroy Williams, Shanika Duncan, DeLeon Miller, Leon Campbell, Warren Townsend, Joanne Clark, Ramon Deere, Mark Forrest, Samoya Harrison, Shanice Walters, and Elizabeth Bennett Marsh. Elizabeth Bennett Marsh, affectionately called Liz, she is the public education specialist at OUR. It is actually her brainchild that's being dealt with here now. And instead of telling you why she is doing it, I'd rather have her say why she is doing it, why she thought of this, and of course, give you more information about it. Welcome, Liz.
Thank you, Gordon. And good morning, everybody. How are you today? No, man, I want everybody to just open up your mics briefly and just give me an adjective. Yes.
Highly flavored.
Nice.
Doing great.
Come on, other participants, just open up your mic a little. Just tell me how you're feeling today. It may not be a great evening.
I am okay. I'm okay.
Wonderful.
Okay.
Yeah,
You're
well,
okay.
I'm fine also. Thank you.
Good. And sometimes it's okay to just be okay. And sometimes it's also okay just to not be having a good day, right? But hopefully you'll find this morning session that we're going to have. Yes, Mr. Silpot, I sound like a pastor. Yes. So I can tell it's going to be one of those days where we're hoping to share some information with you. And through the information that we're going to share with you, you will feel energized, motivated, and fired up to want to be a part of what we call a very exciting competition, but we're biased. So I'll be talking briefly about the competition and the rationale for the competition. And then I'll be handing over to Avery Crooks, who I think is no stranger to you all, who will be engaging in a workshop and giving you some valuable advice about how to create that jingle, and just to field questions from you and give you exercises. So at the end of the day, you're empowered if it is that you want to enter the competition or you want your students to enter the competition. You are armed with so much information that you feel that you're an authority on what we're going to be talking about today. So I'm going to be trying to share my screen. I don't really have success with it, but let me try. Saying this is screen 2, yes. And let's go with this. And are you able to see this?
Yes, miss.
Yes.
Okay.
It's looking good.
So you're able to see the agenda, right? I don't have success with this, so I have to keep asking. So on the screen, you should see the agenda. What is the guaranteed standards? Setting the framework. Are you seeing that?
Yes, miss. Your screen sharing is...
Thank you. Good. All right. Okay. Good. Success. I don't always enjoy this. So what are the guaranteed standards? So the agenda for my presentation will be threefold. I'll be talking a bit about what the guaranteed standards are, since I know some people don't know the guaranteed standards, or they think they don't know the guaranteed standards. Setting the framework. Why are we doing this competition? and the planned activities. What are some of the activities that we'll be doing as part of this competition, including how the competition will run. So what are the guaranteed standards? We have several guaranteed standards. The major ones that we'll be focusing on for the purpose of this competition will be on the JPS and NWC guaranteed standards. We know the guaranteed standards, but sometimes we don't know that we know the guaranteed standards. So for example, if I ask any of you, feel free to answer me, how many consecutive estimated bills should you get for your JPS or NWC bills, provided they have access to your meters? What would you say? How many consecutive estimated bills?
None.
No, yeah, we allow them to send you some estimated bills. But how many back to back?
Okay, you mean for the Christmas, I noticed they're always estimated.
Yes.
3.
Not 3, but you're close.
2.
2, thank you. So 2 estimated bills, they're allowed to send you back to back, provided they have access to your meter. Sometimes they don't have access to your meter, because it's in your kitchen, or you lock up the gate because you're gone work, want nobody coming to your yard, and that nobody also means your JPS and your NWC meter readers and so on. If they disconnect you because you owe and you went and you paid them, how many hours do they have to reconnect you? How many hours do you think that JPS has to reconnect you?
24 hours.
24 hours, Miss Clark. Good for you. I should be handing out some prizes, GB and Pete again, but we'll get to that. So we know some of the guaranteed standards, but we don't know that we know the guaranteed standards, yes? So you're right. They're allowed, JPS and NWC are allowed to send you 2 consecutive estimated bills before they breach your guaranteed standards. If they send you a third and they do have access to your meter, then that's a breach of your guaranteed standards. If they take more than 24 hours to reconnect you after you have paid off everything that you owe them, then that's also a breach and you are to be compensated. If you're wrongfully disconnected, like your light is disconnected wrongfully, they meant to go to lot 102, but they really went to lot 104 instead, then that's another breach. And if they don't, that's a breach that they wrongfully disconnected you. And if they don't reconnect you within 5 hours, in the case of JPS, that's another breach and you are to be compensated. And every compensation is a monetary amount that's applied to your bills, right? So for JPS, it's about $1,600 for every breach to you, and that's applied to your next bill. If they don't apply to the next bill and you have to call them and say, hey, and they recognize that it's really a breach and we never applied it, that's another breach and that's another $1,600. Similarly, National Water Commission, if they created a breach against you, it's 4 times your service charge, and your service charge is roughly $700 and something. So 4 times that amount is a little over $3,000, and that's to be applied. And that, in some cases, it can take care of your water bill for the month, right? In some cases, right? Not that Mr. Silpot, who maybe his water bill is competing with his light bill, I don't know. So those are some of the guaranteed standards that we want customers to be aware of, because it directly impacts you and it impacts me. And the more we hold JPS and NWC accountable, is the more we're in a position to, we're empowered because we're holding them accountable. And there's so many times that there are breaches of the guaranteed standards, but because the customers are not holding them accountable, we do as well from the OUR, but we feel that it's a tripartite arrangement where we have to hold the utility accountable, the OUR has to be on top of what we're doing, as well as the customers have to be aware of these guaranteed standards. So in turn, we can say to JPS or NWC, I know you breached a guaranteed standard to me, and this is the guaranteed standard that you breached, and therefore I know I must be compensated. We have done several surveys which show that not many persons are aware of it, and I'll talk about that in a little while. So in other words, the guaranteed standards are basic quality of service standards developed for NWC and JPS and some small water providers to guide the provision of utility service delivered by these companies to their customers. And there, as I said before, compensation for breaches are available, And I already outlined some of these guaranteed standards, which include wrongful disconnection, the length of time that it takes you to be reconnected after disconnection, the response for application of a new supply. There's also a timeline within which they should respond to your application for a new supply, whether it be water or electricity supply. The number of estimated bills, Bright Spark pointed out that it's 2, and of course meter replacement. If it is that you have detected that there's a faulty meter, then they are obligated to replace the meter within a set period of time. So why are we doing this competition, the Guaranteed Standards Jingle competition? We do national surveys every 18 to 24 months with a reputable survey marketing company. And one of the questions that we tend to ask our respondents is, how much do you rate your knowledge of the JPS Guaranteed Standards or the National Water Commission Guaranteed Standards? And we find that 56% in the last survey that we did, that was in 2019, in about March 2019, 56% of the respondents in relation to the JPS jingle, guaranteed standards, say they know some things, most, or all there is to know about it. 56%. So most people have an idea what the guaranteed standards are. But then you have 44% who say they know little or nothing about the JPS guaranteed standards. Now that's the gap that we're trying to fill, yes? Similarly, 52% know some things, most, or all there is to know about the NWC guaranteed standards. And 48% know just a little or nothing about the guaranteed standards. That 48% is what we're trying to erode. Similarly, we're trying to erode that 44% knowledge deficit amongst customers who say they know little to nothing about the JPS guaranteed standards. So, you know, we have a rich history of music in Jamaica and performing arts and theater arts, and we want to tap into that. So in looking at how do we erode that knowledge deficit, we said, you know, our people are very talented musically. I mean, you can stop a man on the street and say, sing me a tune or just cut a tune for me, and immediately they're just like that. I'm constantly amazed when we go on the road and we ask someone to do an extemporaneous thing, and they just flow in it. They just look at a flower and describe the flower in a very lyrical way that, you know, constantly amazes us. So why the competition? We want to increase awareness of the guaranteed standards. We want to improve consumer knowledge about the quality of service standards, because we not only have guaranteed standards, but we have other quality of service standards, but we're focusing now on the guaranteed standards. We want to improve consumer knowledge and awareness about their rights and responsibilities, because they have a lot of rights, a lot of them are not aware of them. But we also say that you have a lot of responsibilities as well. One key one in relation to the guaranteed standards, we talk about access to your meter. You have a responsibility to ensure that the National Water Commission and JPS have access to your meters. If they don't, if you have a bad dog and the first thing that's greeting them is a dog that's clamoring to get out behind the gate, they're not exactly going to be brave enough, or you won't expect them to be brave enough to assume that the dog won't bite you, man, him just a bark, and then go through that to read your meter. They're not going to do that. If you lock a gate, if you have your meter inside your house, they can't exactly access your meter, so you'll consistently get estimated bills. So that's one example of a responsibility that you have as a consumer. And we want to increase awareness about the work of the OUR. Too often when we ask people what they think the OUR is there for, invariably they think that we're just a consumer advocacy group, when we are much more than that. We are the regulator of services and the utility sectors in Jamaica, and it encapsulates much more than just being a consumer advocacy group. So there have been studies that show, for example, that the usage of jingles in advertisements is more effective than the use of slogans by themselves. So we know some of the more popular jingles on air now. One of the ones that I always sing when I hear it is the Shorty. Anybody know the Shorty, the JNGI Shorty jingle? Let me not be by myself in doing this. Anyone? No?
No, miss.
You don't? What? Hold on. Mr.
Yes, miss,
Silpot.
I know it.
I've heard it.
Oh,
I know it.
Mr. Silpot? Mr. Silpot? Is he here? I'm going to put him on the spot and ask him if he can sing it for me.
I just know the catchphrase, shawty, shawty.
No long commitment, no third party.
Right.
Get a shawty.
Yeah, shawty.
All right. Yeah. So you know that one. You know, JMMB. I had to call them recently, and all that was assailing my ear was the jingle. How that jingle go again? The JMMB, and I heard it up to recently. You know, anybody remember that JMMB jingle? What other jingle can you remind me of that's local? JMMB. Yes, yes, that one. Everybody knows that one, right? Okay. I can leave, I can find anything I wanna be. Da, 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 da. It's easy as JMMB. Or you call them and make them put you on hold, and it will assail your ears. Believe me. Any
Liz,
other jingle? Yes.
Liz,
Yes.
could you please could you do that jingle again?
No,
please?
GB. I know what you're doing. I know what you're doing. But any, give me a. give me another
no
local
up
jingle.
Jamaica. No dirty up Jamaica.
Sing that for me, Miss Walters. Sing that for me.
No dirty up Jamaica. Please
don't do it. Yes, love that one. So we know a lot of catchy jingles, and I won't steal anything from Avery because she's going to be walking us through what are some of the commonalities.
You literally gone into parts of my presentation.
No, I'm leaving it now.
I literally had that plan.
I'm leaving it now, Avery. I'm leaving it now. So what are some of the things that we'll be doing as part of the jingle competition? Is that we'll be encouraging participation amongst Jamaicans like yourselves to create a jingle. And the jingle must include lyrics, melody, and rhythm on the JPS and NWC guaranteed standards. The winning entry will be used in our OUR ads and other publicity projects. And the competition started November last year and ends March this year. It may go a bit beyond March, I think about April, but we plan to not make it be prolonged. So the deadline for entries will be the 29th of this month. There will be a first round of judging that will be concluded in February. And then after the judges would have identified their top 6 entries, then we go to a period of online voting where we're going to put them on our social media pages, etc. And we're going to be encouraging persons to vote using a particular link. And we hope to identify the winner in about April this year. So who can enter? We have the open category where we have Jamaicans 20 and over, whether you're local or here locally or overseas, and students up to 19 years registered in a secondary, post-secondary institution or a music club, because we also recognize the strength of music clubs. Some students may not do music in schools, but they're attached to a club. What are some of the guidelines? Now we have the competition rules, which are on our website, and I'll tell you a bit about that. But the guidelines, basically, there's no fee to enter. Nobody can call you and say, oh, we have no increase, we have no put a fee attached. There's no fee to enter. And that's why it doesn't go through the BGLC, right? Each entry must contain at least one jingle that's no more than 1 minute in length. There should only be one entry per person, but not per school. I'm clear about that. So Ms. Walters, for example, if you have students who you want to enter, several students can enter the competition, but that any one student must only enter one piece. So if you have John who wants to enter, he can enter once. If you have Anthony who wants to enter, he can enter once. So there is no cap on the number of entries from a school, because it's going to be it's a student category. So each student can only enter one entry, but from your school, several students can enter. We're clear on that? Okay.
Excuse me, miss, I have a question.
Yes. Go ahead.
So good morning again. I am
Good morning. Hi, Shanika.
From the Front Court High School. So I would like to enter, and you are saying that several students can enter from the school, but I would like to enter but I would like to enter one piece, but I know somebody who can help me like create a a good jingle. And so can both of us like send in the one piece, send in the one entry, even though the two of us did it?
So both of you are working on one entry. That's what you're saying.
Yes,
That's what you're
ma'am.
saying. Okay, so just put both of your name on it. So you know that if it is that you win, both of you are sharing the prize. But you and the other person can't submit the same jingle separately.
So then if we're going to submit it, it would just have to be one entry with both of us name on it then.
Right.
Right.
And it's a good point to raise, Shanika. Thank you so much for saying that, because we do have queries from persons who say, I'm good at writing, but I'm not good at singing. Is me alone have to enter this one? And we say, no, if it is that you're collaborating with somebody, it could even be a choir, it could be a quartet. You understand? So if we appreciate that any one person may not be able to compile a jingle by themselves, it may be a collaborative effort. All we ask you to do is just recognize the other members of your team when you're filling out that entry form. So if it is that if you win, then we don't have any quarrel that, this is part of my work, because we can only say it's only Shanika name on this, it's only Shanika name going to be on the check. You understand? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You must have the original lyrics, melody, and rhythm. The judges are very strong about that. Must have the original. Well, lyrics must be original naturally, because the gsjingle lyrics that you're going to be creating. Melody must be original. The rhythm must be original. A copy of the written lyrics must be submitted with each entry, because sometimes when entries are submitted, we can't hear the words clearly and stuff. So we want to see the written words. So please submit the written words of your lyrics in addition to the entry forms and your submission, your jingle. Size of the entry, audio only. Don't do video, because the file is going to be too large. Must not be more than 20 megabytes in size. Only soft copy entries, which means send it by email only. You can either do it through a file sharing app or one of those things, but we're not accepting any in-person at the OUR, COVID and all of that. And submit it in MP3 audio format only, not WAV, but MP3. Competition rules: only use original music for your entries. It must be reproducible in long and short versions. I'm sure Avery can touch a bit about that in her workshop. The lyrics must be clearly heard above the music bed. And I want to pause here by saying, don't feel that you have to go to studio to record, because we're targeting everybody. We want everybody to feel comfortable enough to want to submit something. Don't feel that because you don't have access to a studio and some. If you create a little thing on your computer, you can be recording something on your phone, playing it and just submitting it to us. So what we're keen to get from you now is to hear the music, hear your words, hear the rhythm flowing, and so on. So don't feel that you have to go to a studio to record it. In your bedroom, you lock up, or in your bathroom. Sometimes the best sound comes from the bathroom, from my experience. Try that. The acoustics tend to be great in the bathroom. Right, Mr. Silpot? Incorporate the name OUR and our tagline, regulating utilities for the benefit of all, in your lyrics. The original work of the artist must be free of any copyright or intellectual property claims. Please don't steal anybody's work and parlay it off as your own. Please, please, please. We'll find out. It must be easily recognizable as a jingle pertaining to the guaranteed standards. So don't make me listen to it, and if we call somebody from our street and say, tell us what this is about, what's the product, they don't know. So it must be easily recognizable as a jingle pertaining to the guaranteed standards. And must have lyrics that are clear and easy to understand. The judges have set a rubric. I won't go through this. It's on our website, where they'll be looking out for certain things: lyrics, melody, presentation. And presentation means the level of creativity and whether it is well thought out, originality, the exceptional use of new ideas, and your originality in creating a jingle. So far we're seeing some jingle where somebody went dub poetry kind of style, which is really very nice. I love listening to that one as well. Just as an example, music must be original and blends well with the lyrics. So you think of like the shorty and how everything just flows well together. And the overall effectiveness, how well do all the parts come together. The guide for judging the judges will be guided by the competition rules that we have on our website, the rubric, which you just saw a while ago. And of course, you must submit your entry forms because otherwise we don't know who submitted and how to get in touch with you. Prizes. So I did mention that we have 2 categories in which either you can enter either category. The open category, first place winner will get $250,000. Second place will get $100,000. This is not schools, it's students. So scratch schools in your mind and just replace it with students. The first place winner will get $250,000. And because we recognize that teachers will be helping their students create that awesome jingle, we also recognize that, and so we'll be awarding the teacher of the winning student $100,000 in cash, because prizes don't matter unless it's in cash, right? Can I get an amen to that? And in second place, $100,000 for the winning student. All right. And the second place teacher will get $75,000. I open up the floor for any questions that you may have before I hand over to Ms. Crooks. Any questions?
Yes, please. Could you repeat the task again?
Could I repeat this, sorry?
The task at hand to be done. You are to create a jingle regarding?
The Guaranteed Standards Jingle Competition. Oh, you're joining late, are you? Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Okay, so the
Go
Guaranteed
ahead.
Standards, right. So the Guaranteed Standards, it quickly, because I know that there may be other persons who may have joined late, is the a set of quality of service standards that we would have developed for JPS and NWC. That includes how many estimated bills you must get, how long you're supposed to get reconnected after they disconnect you, if you apply for a new meter, how long they must take, things like that. There are brochures, that's on our website. And we have said to persons, go ahead, read the 2 brochures on JPS and NWC Guaranteed Standards and create a jingle for us, an original jingle with original lyrics, original rhythm, original melody, and submit it. Oh, the email address, we're going to put it in the chat so you can have it. Is Peter, can put it in the chat for me, please? It's gsjingle@gmail.com. A lot of G's. Nice alliterative thing there. So it's gsjingle@gmail.com. We're going to put it in the chat so that persons can see it throughout the course of the morning. Jingles must not be more than 1 minute long. And we have the open category and the students category. Each student can only enter once, but each school can enter, multiple students from each school can enter the competition.
Okay.
All right, so I have a little icebreaker for you. If there are any other questions, any other questions?
Yes,
And if
miss,
there
I
are
have a
not,
quick question. Are you hearing me okay?
I can. Who is this?
Yes, this is Mr. Bedasi.
Yes, Mr. Bedesi.
Yes, miss. I was wondering why the primary schools weren't included, because I know there's a lot of creativity at that level too.
Yeah.
Speak to that?
Yeah. I think one of our main rationale was that secondary level students are fast becoming ratepayers. In fact, I understand that, disturbing news that some have actually now left the formal education system and actually gone to work because they have to help pay bills and so on. So one of our things is that we wanted to resonate with a group of stakeholders who can relate to either paying bills or will very shortly be paying bills. So primary school students, how many of them would actually absorb the message that we want them to get regarding guaranteed standards? That was one of our main rationale, really, Mr. Bedasi.
Okay, miss. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Any other questions?
I heard you. Shanika here again. I heard you
Hi,
mention.
Shanika.
I heard you mention something about a person who entered one specific time but entered a dub, right? To tell you the honest truth, I'm not really like good at making songs, but like making poems and dubs. Like I'm excellent at doing that. So I was wondering where that is concerned now, how can we how can we talk about like that?
Well, I'm going to leave that for Avery Crooks when she starts her workshop, Shanika. Remember to raise it again with her, all right? That's her forte.
All right, Miss.
All right. Any other questions? No? Okay, so I have a quick question for, I think I have a tumbler. I hope I have a tumbler to give away in an icebreaker session. So I want everybody to use do you have your hand wave thing that you can put beside your name in the chat? Just wave, just put the hand wave. You know, when you're raising a hand, can everybody do that? Yeah, Shanika has done that, right? Put your hand wave, man. Come man, find it. Where is it? Somebody tell me where it is. Shanika, tell us where it is.
All right. So when you look down at the bottom where you see is where you see the microphone and the video icon and the share and the participants. Next to the to my right at the bottom you'll see more, and then you see some three dots at the top above more. So you press on that and you see raise and disconnect audio chat meeting settings, and you can raise your hand from there.
I hope you understand that because I don't see a lot of people still doing that. But all right. So Shanika, you have to forgive me, but this is really for the teachers. But I'll try and see if we can get something later for students who are logged on to this. So for the teachers, if it is, so everybody has raised their hands. I don't see. Hoshama, Diamond. Okay, so we do have a few raised hands. So let's go. If you are 2 years, if you have more than 2 years experience in teaching, keep your hands up. If you have less than, remove your hand. Less than 2 years as a teacher. If you have less than 5 years as a teacher, take down your hand. Wow, this is getting stiff. All right. If you have less than 10 years as a teacher in the profession, Shanice, she can't find the icon. Okay, Shanice, I want to give you an equal chance. Tell us where's the icon again? Who else can tell us where the icon is? Because nobody will understand Shanika apparently.
Go into the option that says more, and you will see lower hand, disconnect audio chat or meeting. You will see raise hand, disconnect audio chat, meeting settings. So if you go, if you click on that, you'll see the option.
And click on raise hand.
Yeah.
But it's also right in the participants blog. It's right there on the screen. Should be there.
Okay, because I have a different screen, so I can't walk you through it because I'm seeing something different as the host.
Matthew's audio is really low.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Just click on participants. Click on participants. You'll see the drop down, and then you'll see all the participants. Okay. Below there, you'll see invite, mute me, lower hand.
Thank you. All right, so Shanice has found it. So less than 10 years in the profession, lower your hand. Less than, what? So everybody's hand is still up. What? Nice. Less than 15 years in the profession, lower your hand, remove the raised hand. Less than 15 years. Wow. You see, I'm beginning to feel intimidated now, you know. Less than 17 years in the profession, lower your hand. Less than 20 years, lower your hand. Mr. Bedassi, you don't look old enough to be in the profession for 20 years, you know.
I'm not seeing the option to lower hand.
Just click back the raise hand, I think.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Oh, okay, all right.
Oh, I didn't know that it was. I was just teasing you. Less than.
I didn't hear the question. What was the question?
Less than 20 years in the profession, in teaching profession.
Okay, well, I can put down my hand. I'm not there
Less
yet.
than 20, less than 22. Less than 24. Less than 25. Less than 25. Mr. Miller, how long have you been in the profession?
29 going 30 years.
Wow, congratulations. So we do have a Tumblr for you. Peter Gay, please make note of Mr. Miller's name. Mr. Miller, if you can put your email address into
Okay.
our chat, then Peter Gay will take that down. And congratulations.
Thank you. Yes.
And
sure.
the grateful nation thanks you.
All right. Thank you very much.
And thank you to all the teachers as well who are here today. Really and truly, we really appreciate you. So that was our icebreaker. So it gives me great pleasure right now to hand over to Avery Crooks. Now, Avery Crooks is no stranger to many of us on this platform this morning. She has taught in the Jamaican public school system for 24 years and at several institutions, including Cornwall College and the Sam Sharp Teachers College. The latter, she spent 12 years at as a music lecturer. In her early years, Avery performed with several reggae and jazz bands on the North Coast and in Kingston, but we never knew that about her. He has played with some late greats, such as Billy Cook, Hedley Jones, and Ruben Alexander. She has also had performances with Ernie Randlin and recently Steve Tour on Saturday Night Live of the Saturday Night Live band. This is so awesome. Originally from Montego Bay, Miss Crooks now resides in Kingston, where she works as the National Music Development Specialist at the Jamaica Cultural Development Commission, the JCDC. She is also the leader of the all-female ensemble Quintet Bohème and the only female trombonist in the Jamaica Music Museum Big Band and the Philharmonic Orchestra of Jamaica. It gives me great pleasure at this time to welcome Avery Crooks, who is more than competent as a facilitator for today's workshop. Good morning, Ms. Crooks, and welcome, and over to you.
Thank you very much, Miss Liz. I like to call her Miss Liz. Good morning, everyone. Yes, I too need for you to open the mics and just say.
Good morning. Good
Good
morning.
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 Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Nice.
Miss Crooks, really
Nice.
good to see you again. Good morning.
Is that Mr. Gordon? Mr. Brown?
Gordon Brown here.
Okay. Good morning. Good morning. Yes. All the years I spent teaching, of course, you know, it was not in this format. So it is still new territory for me. I am used to the hands-on, you know, you are there in front of me, we are seeing each other, we are collaborating and all of that. But this is still new territory. But as we say in show business, the show must go on. All right, I'm really excited to be a part of the OUR Jingle competition. You notice that they have tangible gifts to offer at the end of it. So for your hard work, it's not just a thank you, well done. You are being rewarded handsomely, I must say. So really commendable. All right, we want to get right into some activities as much as we can in this format and on this platform. We try our best. I see familiar names, and I notice you're all not showing your faces. There are pictures, Shanice and Dale, I'm seeing your picture, but I'm not seeing the faces. I know people will have other things going on, but if you can, you know, give us a peek. Give us a peek. No, not you, Miss Liz. I'm talking about the teachers. Yes, if you can, give us a peek. So, you know, we get a little contact, as I'm going to be calling on you right now to be doing some activities. This is a sort of workshop, webinar workshop. So I'm going to try my best to see how I can get you working and not just sitting there and reading a slide. All right. So we all want to enter this jingle competition. I'm assuming that everybody here is planning to enter, whether as an individual or if you're going to guide students in entering, at least 2 students. All right? So I'm going to ask 3 persons to just sing very briefly, maybe a line or 2, their favorite jingle. All right, so you have 20 seconds to think about it. So you should all be ready. I'm going to be calling on 3 persons. You will not know exactly who, so be ready. All right, the first person I'll ask is Samoya Harrison. You don't have to turn on your video, but you must turn on the audio. We want to hear you singing your favorite jingle.
Good morning. Can you hear me well?
Hearing you loud and clear, Samoya.
Okay. At this moment, I don't really know the jingle fully, but it's my favorite jingle though. Okay. No dirty up Jamaica, please don't do it, yeah. No dirty up Jamaica, no dirty up Jamaica, no dirty up Jamaica. Yeah, that's it.
All right. Well,
I got goosebumps a while ago. Goosebumps.
Thank you so much, Samoya. All right. Let's ask Warren. I haven't heard from Warren from morning. Warren Townsend. Let me hear your favorite jingle. Morning again.
It's actually the same jingle as Miss just did, no, but I can't really do it like how she do it. You know,
Sing it still. Let's hear your rendition.
All right, so my rendition. Keep the island clean, so clean, from the peaks to the beach, so clean. The dirty of Jamaica. Yeah.
Party giving us. Okay.
It actually freeze a while again. I don't know.
We had a little Wi-Fi fallout, but I heard the first part very nice and clean.
Thank you, Miss. Thank
you. Please complete what you're saying, Warren.
I was saying thank you. The Wi-Fi seems to be giving problem though.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
But I heard the first part very clearly. Very good singing tone. Thank you, Warren. All right. So because Warren sang the same one as who was it again? Samoya. I need 2 more persons. All right, Hoshama. You know I'd have to call on you. Let's hear your favorite jingle. Go, Hoshama.
My favorite, Chlorofree nights free, call every day's a double day. I don't remember the rest of it.
That'll sell service. Hoshama. All right. I remember that Clara ad. I loved it too. Thank you. Thanks for that trip down memory lane.
Yes.
Well done. And Paul.
Thank you.
You're the last one. Let's hear your favorite jingle, Paul. Paul Wilson? Is Paul with us?
Yes, I am here.
Okay. Let's hear your favorite jingle, Paul. Go.
Can I gracefully decline? I do not mess with singing any way, shape, or form.
You're
I
not a
do
music
not have
teacher.
the gift for it.
You're not one of our teachers, Paul.
I am a drama teacher.
Yes, so of course you can sing.
I know. I'm very gifted in acting. Never got the singing bug. But here goes.
Yes.
The only jingle that comes to mind is, we are lucky cows. We chew our cuds and browse. I don't remember the rest of it, but you sure can remember that one.
Uncle.
The green grass, but the green grass.
Green grass, yes.
Yes. That is another trip down memory lane. Thank you, Paul. And you do have a voice. Don't let anybody tell you you can't sing, and don't tell yourself you can't sing. I'm sure if you get a lead role in a show that requires you to sing, you will sing.
Oh, I had that. I've had that drama before, and it wasn't a good one.
All right, great. Thank you, everybody, all who just participated. I want to say, what do we notice about all of those jingles that you sang? Because we're looking now at the characteristics of a good jingle. Tell me one characteristic of a good jingle. Let me ask. No, you can't all talk at the same time, right? So just think about it, and I'll go down the line. Shanika's hand is ahead, Shanika.
All right, morning again. Yes. I think one thing that kind of links all of the jingles together is that they're very, very catchy. You know, they're
Very
easy
catchy.
to catch on.
Excellent. You get a tick for that. 5 points extra. Samoya, one other characteristic of an excellent jingle.
In most jingle, I realize they are repetitive. Really
right? So that would go under catchy. There is a section that is catchy. We call it like a hook. It has a hook. There's a part of it that you always remember, you won't forget, because it keeps going back to that part. All right, so we would still say that is under being catchy, because usually that's why that part is catchy. It's repetitive. All right, Paul, your hand is up.
They tend to be slightly gimmicky at times to draw you in.
Yes. So there is some sort of gimmicks and something to catch you, to hook you, to draw you in. Very good. Anybody else? Deleon Miller, Mr. Miller, give me a characteristic of an excellent jingle.
I think that they can be used, the language can be Jamaican, colloquial or patois, as we may say. I think people respond to it more when it's done in our lingua, than if we do a perfect English. That's my opinion,
Okay, so the idea is your audience must understand what it is that you're transmitting.
And not based on experience, even in the school.
All right, your audience must understand.
Yes.
Right, very good. So your audience must understand what it is that you are saying. The message must go across very clearly. That is very important. The message must be clear. And Nadia, let's have a characteristic from you. Just one. Is Nadia with us? Guys, you have to be
Yes, I am with you.
Yes, thank you, Nadia. You never know when I'm gonna call on you, so be ready.
Right. I think the jingle should have some parts in it that is repetitious. Well, it blends. It must have a what you call it now?
Yeah, you said it.
Yes, it must
have a
blend.
repetition.
Yes.
Something that is a hook, and somebody said that earlier.
Right.
So thank you for that. Thank you for that. What about Thealdra? Let's hear from you.
Hi, good morning. I just came in.
Great.
I heard you guys speaking about a jingle.
Give me a characteristic of an excellent jingle.
Well, it must be short. It must be catchy.
No. Just one.
Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't know if what I was
loaded.
Right.
Just one. Very good. Very good. The jingle must be short. It is not a song, guys. It is not a song. We don't want to hear the whole story. You're not building up to anything, right?
Okay. Hello?
Yes, Nadia.
Yes, can I say something else? I wanted to say this originally. It must have a rhyme. Not necessarily must, but the rhyme help to bring out the points that you want to really have your customer catch on to.
All right. Well, that is your particular style. All right. Because what will happen is that some persons are able to achieve the effectiveness without the rhyme.
Okay.
Yes, but I understand what you are saying. That would be your style. All right. But we wouldn't want to list that like as a must, as a general characteristic. But like for it to be short, that is a must. You don't expect to build up way near into the end of the minute because you have 1 minute. Did you all know that? For this particular competition, you have 1 minute. And so much can happen in a minute, right? So you're not waiting to build up. You hit it running because you want to get people's attention. If the radio is playing and a good jingle comes on, you are going to pay attention. If for 30 seconds, the jingle not saying nothing, you change the station. Like, what? Why you not? You change, yeah. You need to ensure that when you are writing your jingle, it is short, it is to the point, you hit it running, you target your audience, and you get going. All right, so it's short. It has to be catchy with some sort of gimmicks. We said that it should have a hook, and it's possible that our audience will respond better if it is in the dialect. It's not a must for this competition. If there are persons who want to use, straight English language, it is up to them. But as teachers, you are saying, and we know that our students will relate better. Most persons on a whole will relate very easily to the patois. All right. There are about 3 other pointers, characteristics that I have not heard, and I know you know it.
Excuse me, why I hear you say something about gimmicks.
Yes.
Gimmicks doesn't necessarily have to be in the jingle, but I think it would need to divulge some amount of information in a creative manner.
Yes. Mr. Miller mentioned that would be his style. All right. The gimmicks would add to would add to it being catchy and having that hook. All right, but you're correct. It's not a must. All right, thank you, Thealdra. Somebody's hand was up just now. Mr. Silpot.
I think it was mine because I was gonna say, giving out important information in a short time.
Yes.
One of the big features of it.
Exactly. Strong message. You must send the strong message. You have a short time. We said, yes, it has to be short. Your message has to be strong. What are you saying? We must hear it from the very, very onset. All right? So we have, it must be short. It should be catchy. For those who want to incorporate the use of the dialect and gimmicks, that would add to it being catchy. We said that your message, as Matthew just said, your message should be strong because you're giving a lot of information in the short space of time. All right. Two more pointers. Think. Who hasn't said anything to me yet? Damain. Welcome, Damain. Give me a characteristic of a good jingle. Is Damain with us? All right, there's someone with just a symbol, like a cylindrical symbol in the middle. There's no name. Not sure who that is. You would know yourself. Would you like to answer? All right, let us move on. Delroy? Is Delroy with us?
I'm here.
Yes.
I would think it should be clear. It should be clear and concise.
Yes.
Somebody said that already?
Yes, we kind of covered that. All right, so let me just share with you. Thank you, Delroy. The message should be clear. We said that. It should be concise, as Delroy just said. It must be memorable. It must be memorable. So for those of you who are music teachers, you are not necessarily going after your greatest work, this, a great triumphant thing. No, it's not necessarily the greatest music work. It must be memorable. Just like I asked you, what was your favorite, or give me a jingle, you could remember it. The fact that you remember it says something. It made an imprint on you, and this is what you want to happen with the jingle that you're going to make for who you are. You want it to be memorable. Persons must always remember your jingle. It goes like this. And even after you turn off the audio, you're going in your car, you're going down the road, you remember it. You remember it. You never forget it, because there's just something about it. It stays with you. You ensure that it's like that. So don't go for, a great music work that has to be this and that and that. Attempt it from a more simple standpoint. All right? Simplicity. You never beat simplicity. We said that. So short, simple, it has a hook, strong message, very strong message in the short space of time, and it is memorable. All right? So ensure that you have those points. Just reading a sentence here, just a little excerpt from ImageWorks blog. This is a media company. You can check them out online. Music invokes memory like nothing else can. Those are my words. Music invokes memory. Music invokes emotion and nostalgia. Like when I just heard Anchor the green grass. Yes, it took me back somewhere. I was at a house and with my daughter, and yeah, it takes you back. You start to see images, you start to feel a certain way. That's what music does to you. So music invokes memory, music invokes emotion and nostalgia. So naturally, advertising with music is an effective marketing technique. That goes without saying. We all agree with that. All right? Now, the music is not alone. Where is my actor? The music is not alone because you have to have lyrics with it. You have to have lyrics with it. So we get to our section that deals with the text, putting the text and the music together. All right, before we go there though, let's just look at a few elements, musical elements, to ensure that your jingle is the best that it can be. You have to understand the use of rhythm and also rhythm. All right, is there anybody who would want to explain this for me? You understand it clearly and you want to share with the others the difference between rhythm and rhythm, what we have coined in Jamaica, RIDDIM, as opposed to RHYTHM. All right, I'm going to ask Matthew, my noble colleague.
Hello.
Yes, we're hearing you.
I guess rhythm, the formal way, would speak to note duration. So, like your whole notes, your half notes, those things that you would have for rhythm and how they're set up in a space. The rhythm, however, is where you say people ride the rhythm. So you have yeah, so rhythm as opposed to rhythm.
Right. Thank you very much, Matthew. Excellently explained. Now, you have to understand how to organize your rhythm and your rhythm. Right? This is unique. This is unique to Jamaica. I don't think there's anywhere else in the world that deals with rhythm like we do. Right? So you want to ensure that you lay it on a nice rhythm and that your rhythm is structured and your rhythm is good. And guess what? As Miss Liz said earlier, you cannot use anything that has been used by anyone before. Recently, we ran a competition and we had an entry from a very talented lyricist, a young lady in sixth form at a particular school. The lyrics excellent, covered, the content, everything. But she had it on tum 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 tum, Murder She Wrote rhythm. You know that is a no-no. All right? So please do not make the same mistake. Do not make the same mistake. Do not leave here and forget. You must have an original rhythm. Your music aspect must be original, right? Oftentimes people forget and they come with the excellent lyrics and you're on somebody else's rhythm. You can't do it. Even if it's somebody, it's one that, not very popular, you might say, oh, this is not popular again. No, right? Actually, you can be charged, you can be fined. You can be fined because it is not original work. And that for this competition is automatic disqualification. All right. So please bear that in mind. Bear that in mind. All right. So yes, go ahead, please. Yes.
On that aspect, could you help us all to understand if, in fact, that same Murder She Wrote rhythm, somebody adds an electronic guitar and changes the pace in the rhythm, would that still be considered to be a breach?
Thank you for that question. Excellent question. Thank you. Once it is recognizable, it is a breach. Once it is recognizable, I believe it is 2 seconds in the law. Maybe Matthew can remind me. Once it is 2 seconds, even if you slow it down, once it is recognizable, you have to do.
Once the idea is there.
Pardon me?
Once the original idea is there, they can recognize it, even if you made an arrangement to it. Yeah.
Yes. Because if you're making an arrangement of it, you have to credit the person. So it has to be different. It has to be different. Persons can hear and say, oh, wait, oh, that sounds like Murder She Wrote, but a little slower. No. Definite copyright infringement. So it has to be a totally different idea. Turn the bass line around, upside down, reverse it. All right. Thank you, Mr. Gordon. Mr.
Question.
Yes, Mark.
Good morning, everyone.
Right.
Suppose we go about creating our own rhythm per se, and we incorporate, let's use Murder She Wrote. We incorporate a little singe of it, like a phrase from it just to cover a particular part. Would that also call for disqualification?
Yes, it would.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, it would. It has to be totally original. All right. So remember, no, no, not because you don't see in my face is that JCDC, you're not allowed. This is an original competition. All right. Lyrics original, rhythm original. All right. So rhythm and rhythm, we spoke about that. Pitch and its sub-elements. Well, I like to see them as sub-elements. Sometimes they are listed as separate elements: pitch, melody, and harmony. Because a series of pitches will give you your melody. And then when you have them being played simultaneously, complementing each other, then we have harmony. All right, so you have to ensure that your melody is secure. You must ensure that your melody is secure. If it is that you're doing like a straight DJ, that's different. Then that is, probably more like chanting, and you ensure that your lyrics are clear. But for those doing like a sing-song, ensure that your melody is secure. Then afterwards, you can add harmony. It doesn't have to be full right through. Because remember, you have a short space of time and we want to cover all the elements. So we want to hear melody, we want to hear harmony, we want to hear maybe other aspects of music that we're going to mention now. Tempo. Decide on your tempo. If you're selling this, you want it to be catchy. Do you want a slow tempo? Do you want moderate? Should it be adagio? Should it be lento? Should it be grave? Should it be allegro? Should it be allegretto? Should it be presto? You decide. You are the composer now. You decide. You look at the product. You think about what would connect with persons who are listening, and you decide. So I cannot definitely say to you, it has to be fast or it has to be moderato. All right? That you have to decide, but it is a point to consider because it will make a difference. All right, you look at the form as well. Most jingles are in what form? Who wants to help me out here? Tiana? Welcome, Tiana. Most jingles are in what form? Is Tiana with us? Okay. Samoya. No, I haven't asked Shanice. Sorry, Samoya. Shanice Walters. Most jingles are in what form?
When you say form, what you mean? I think.
All right. How is it structured? So examples of forms like in say classical music, you could have rondo, you could have a fugue. Simpler forms are like binary, ternary, those types. So how would you describe a jingle, the form of the jingle? You can tell me in layman terms if you don't know the music term. It's no big deal. Anybody? If you think you know?
I'm so familiar with the music terms, and I didn't hear clearly what you said before.
What form is it for most jingles? Do you hear like a if it's a Romeo and Virgo where you hear a verse, then you hear a chorus, or you just hear one straight thing? How is the jingle
Most
set?
time it's the chorus and the hook. Really.
So it's just one straight thing.
One straight thing.
Right. We could call that strophic, right? It's just one straight thing. You don't have time for any long story. You could also have like a A-B, a two-part, we call it binary. You could have a A-B where something that is likened to a chorus is stated, and then after that, like a DJ. So like a song section, and then a DJ section. All right, you could have it that way because that can run quickly and that can be very effective. All right, like the same, right? You have one artist singing the, who was it? Murder She Wrote.
Can you repeat that, Avery?
Murder She Wrote, and the other one, Stand Still. Da, da, na, 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 na. Yes. Is that Liz?
I was saying you were breaking up. If you could repeat that example.
Okay, all right. I was saying that you could have two parts. Most jingles is just one thing straight through, or you have a two-part binary form where you have like a song or what would be likened to a chorus section, and then like a DJ chanting. So you have like a sing J and then a DJ. For example, the same Murder She Wrote, you have the singing part. Murder She Wrote, Murder She Wrote, and then you have the DJ person. Stand still. So it's a two-part, right? So it can be like that. But remember, it is not a song. It is not a song. So don't bother with a long story. You're not going to take long to build and to go very far. You have 1 minute, 1 minute, and you're going to use it wisely. All right, so we look at rhythm and rhythm, pitch, melody, harmony, tempo, and form. All right, so that's part of organizing things in your mind. How is it that I'm going to put this across? All right, so there's a good friend of mine that always says, even if you're buying lotto, you have to read the rules. You must read the rules. How are you going to know if you win? So you cannot enter this competition if you do not read the rules and the regulations. Go to the OUR website, download the document, and for heaven's sake, read it. Read it. You don't want your work to be disqualified after you put energy into it because you didn't read a particular section, and so you become in breach of the rules. So ensure that you read it because you must understand what it is you are doing. What do I need to know if I'm entering the competition? You have to ask yourself those questions. What do I need to know? What's the OUR? What are they about? What do they do? What are guaranteed standards? What is that all about? All right, I was sharing in one forum when we had the launch of this competition that it was in my adult years that I realized that the OUR is not like JPS and NWC. You know, if that was your experience too, let's see your hand. Do I have a weakness? I thought it was just like NWC and JPS. Thank you, Matthew. I had no idea that they were actually there to protect us and to assist us with all of these problems that we may encounter with the NHT, with the NWC, and with JPS, right? I thought it's just another organization like them. And just the very title that they have, Office of Utilities Regulation, you know, most of us, we don't even pay attention because the title itself says what it is they are about. All right. So it is very important that you go to the website, download the document, guaranteed standards, and read what it's about. So we want to do a little call and answer game. I'm going to have to ask individuals though, because it's not going to work across persons. All right, so let me start with Oshama. All right, so we want to take a typical call and answer folk song that we know, and we want to ask ourselves these questions. My point for doing this, because I want to leave with you that you have to find out about the OUR. All right? So we all know, come off a Matty Belly. Yes, Oshama, sing. Oshama, sing it for me.
Come off a Matty Belly.
All right, so you are going to do the call and the answer. Because of the forum, we can't have somebody answering, so you have to do both. Go again.
Come off a Matty Belly. Come off a Matty Belly. Come off a Matty Belly. Matty Belly is a big, big belly. Come off a Matty Belly. Matty Belly is a rum belly. Come off a Matty 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 Belly.
Woo! Thank you very much. Well done. Well done.
Shama. One whole mood.
I tell you capture everything. That's why we call her, you know. All right. So we are going to use that same tune, rhythm, everything. And we are going to ask, what is the OUR? Same tune. What is the OUR? What is the OUR? All right, go, Thealdra.
Oh, I'm supposed to sing that Panda rhythm?
Yes,
Lord of
call
mercy.
and answer. You alone. It's just 2 lines and you can repeat it.
All right, let me try.
What is the OUR? What is the OUR? What is the OUR? What is the OUR? OUR. What is the OUR?
All right, you got too far now. Very good, very good, very good. All right, so now we get to an aspect where we have to organize text and music. Office of Utilities Regulation. Is it possible for us to get that in there? Is it possible for us to get that in there? Right at the section where we would say, Matty Belly, go up and come down. Could we get that in there, Matthew? Matthew was saying something.
No, man, go ahead. I'll leave the floor for persons to jump in.
Okay. Yes. Who was that? Shanika?
Yes.
Yes, go ahead.
I'm saying that yes, it can be in there because
yes. So try it. Let's hear it.
I was just doing it. So the first person who went before is asking what is OUR. So like for me, I would say Office of Utilities Regulation, that is OUR. Office of Utilities Regulation, that is OUR.
All right, so now we get to a point. Thank you very much, Shanika. Very good attempt. We get to a point where I have to ensure that the syllable fits. You have to ensure that the syllable fits. So it's not just wobbling along. The syllable fits. Listen to words when we speak the words, and the words themselves have, they are syllabicated in a certain way, so they fall easily a certain way. So you utilize that when you are organizing your jingle, all right? So try not to force too many words in the syllable, and if it can hold, ensure that you say it clearly. Office of Utilities Regulation. Office of Utilities, that's to the answer to what is the OUR. So we have what is the OUR, what is the OUR, what is the OUR, it is regulation, same. What is the OUR, all right? Oh, I see a sign that my internet is unstable. Hope you're hearing me. All right, so listen. Yeah, Warren, you're gonna try?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
So it could possibly be. What is the OUR? What is the OUR? Office of Utilities and Regulation. Dun, 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 dun. But a possible way.
All right, you're getting a little tongue-tied at the end. Right.
Crooks, I think
So you started off. Yes, I think it can fit too. We want a perfect fit or close to it.
If you speed up the first part, I guess it can fit.
Yes, but see how it falls. Office of Utilities Regulation. Mati belly ya go pan come down. Office of Utilities Regulation. You're trying to fit in the same space that you would have Mati belly ya go pan come down. That part. Office of Utilities Regulation. I want somebody to try. All right, Paul's mic is open. Go, Paul, not hearing Diamond.
I know you was going to pick on me, you know.
Why not?
All right, Miss Crooks, make me trouble when you trouble me. All right. So we say, what is the OUR? What is the OUR? What is the OUR? What is the OUR? Offices of Utilities Regulation. What is the OUR? Office of Utilities Regulation. What is the OUR? Me close or me far?
You're halfway. You're half and half. Yeah, madam. Good attempt, Paul. Thank you. Thank you for being so brave. Fialdra, you had your hand up?
Yes, miss.
All right.
What is the OUR? What is the OUR? What is the OUR? What is the OUR? Office of Utility and Regulation. What is the OUR? Office of Utility and Regulation. What is the OUR?
All right, that was close. That was close. And you're fitting in an extra word. You're fitting in an extra word. All right. Office of Utilities Regulation. Office of Utilities Regulation. All right. So make sure you don't enter and we hear about utility. Utilities. Office of Utilities Regulation. All right, no and in there. Anybody want to nail it? No, Thealdra almost had it perfect. Delion, I'm sorry, Mr. Miller.
Right. So we could hold on, please. So what is the OUR? What is the OUR? What is the OUR? What is the OUR? Office of Utilities Regulation. What is the OUR? Office of Utilities Regulation. That is the OUR.
That could work. That could work. That could work. Thank you, Mr. Miller. Thank you. All right, anybody with any other variation?
Yes, Miss. I put a break before utilities regulation. Can there be a pause in it? No?
Yeah, let's hear it. Let's hear it.
What is the OUR? What is the OUR? What is the OUR? What is the OUR? Office of Utilities Regulation. Office of Utilities Regulation.
Okay, you could do it that way and then you won't have the answer coming in until afterwards. Yes, yes, very good. Very good, very good. That works very well. So you see the different ideas. You see the different ideas because that's what you did just now. I didn't even think about that. It can work. Yes. See Matthew giving you a high five. And then you would only have the call coming back in afterwards. It could have the call coming back afterwards, so you would not be tongue-tied. All right, I don't want to spend too long on one thing because I see my time is winding down. So the point I'm making here, you must know what the OUR is. You must know what they do, how they are there to assist us, because these things must be mentioned in your jingle. These things must be, but I'm going to come off a Matty Belly, you know, for your jingle. This is just an exercise because I want to emphasize the point that you must go and read, research, what's the OUR, who are they, how was this body set up, what are they there for? Mind you, you will not be able to cram all of this into the one jingle, but as much as possible, as Mr. Silpot said earlier, you're putting in a lot of information in a very short space of time, just 1 minute. So it means that that information has to be organized in your head. You must have full information. So when you go to compose now, you have that platform because you are well informed. You know what they are, you know what they do, you know what they stand for. We had a little quiz just now about, you know, how many consecutive estimated bills can they give us, can the JPS or NWC give us, you know, those are specific examples and so on. But we are to be well informed so that we are not holding back ourselves now. When you go and you go to write, you may approach it from one way and you say, I don't like that. You can approach it from another way because you are filled with the information, the content is there and you understand what it is you are to do. You are to also ensure that you read the rules. Remember what I said, my friend Dene Reeves always talk about the lotto. If you're playing lotto, even the lotto, you must know the rules. You have to read the rules so that you know if you win what you must do. And you know how to fill out the whatever it is. I don't know. I don't play lotto, but I always see them with the things scratching and whatever. Right? You have to read the rules. You have to read the rules. Do not enter the competition without reading the rules. And the information is there in a clear format, easy to understand. You can download it for those of you like me who like to have a piece of paper in your hand. I'm from the old school, you know, though the Gleaner is online. I like to buy the Gleaner and sit with it and open it and turn the pages. It's something about doing it like that I enjoy. So you have no excuse, download it if you want it in that format and you sit and you read the rules. All right, so let's move on quickly. We want to look now at your putting your finished product together. Ms. Liz mentioned earlier that you don't have to go to a studio, but I want to say that going to a studio would help. The musician in me, right, Matthew? Going to a studio would help. But we have to be mindful that it is costly. I think it's somewhere near $4,000 or $5,000 an hour, somewhere there. And I think that if you have your act together, you would not spend more than an hour. You know, so it's something that you can think about, but you don't have to. It can be in your bedroom, it can be in your bathroom, it can be at school, but there are a few things that you have to ensure that you do. Make sure that the production of the sound in the room is very good, without feedback, without too much echo. The bathroom is excellent for singing live, but because of the hollow space, if you're recording, it's another kettle of fish. You will have a lot of reverberation and feedback from the bathroom. So experiment with that. Don't just say, yeah, man, we're going to do it at school and so on and so on. And on the day before you hand it in, that's when you're going to know, because you listen it back after it and say, then oh, it sounds so, it did sound better live. No, cover your grounds. Ensure that wherever you're going to record, the sound is good. So you do checks and ensure that it is pleasing to listen to. Another thing is the number of persons that may be in the room. Depending on whoever is in the room, what they are wearing, furniture in the room and all of those things, the sound will be affected. All right, so if you're in a room that is filled with furniture, it won't sound the same if you empty out the furniture out of the room. So bear in mind all of those things. The quality of the device that you are using, right? Those little peanut phones can record, but what quality will you get, right? Compared to, you know, one of the latest phones. Also, to build that rhythm, the rhythm now, DDIM, to build that rhythm is going to be a little troublesome if you don't have the proper equipment, if you don't have the proper software, right? You're going to need some help with that if you are not savvy with those things. Some of you have students who may be excellent at this. They already have the software, whether them download the bootleg or not, that's not your concern. And you can have it for 6 months until it expires and download it again. That is not your concern. Some of you have students who have these programs on their computers. If it's a Mac, it's excellent, it's perfect, it works best. Utilize this, talk with your students, find out what they have. Some of them already know how to use, what you call it, like Fruity Loops. Matthew, tell me some of the latest ones. They know how to use these.
Audacity, GarageBand, all of those.
Audacity, GarageBand.
Mixcraft, not so accessible, but you have other ones out there.
Right. There are quite a few out there. Hold on, Dale has a question. Please go ahead, Dale.
It was not a question, it was just a suggestion. I was
Yes.
thinking of Audacity, but you actually mentioned it. And I think there are some open source rhythms that you can find at sites like freesound.com. There's some background music that you can utilize for free. And the Creative Commons website is also a great source for copyright-free content without attribution.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you for that. Thank you for that, Dale.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So you have to ensure that you do your research. If you are not one who is comfortable with those programs, if you don't already, if you have not already established what it is that you're going to do, ensure that you do your research. What can I use? Which program can I download? Maybe at school, you can even get them to purchase something that can be installed on your computer for you to use, because it would not just be for this one-off purpose. This is something that I believe that all music teachers should have. All right, so if you don't have it, it's a good time to really, you know, dialogue with your school and let them budget for it and purchase it. You really should have it on your laptop so that you can experiment, and even after the competition, it is something that you can utilize for your classes, for composing activities, you know, for assignments, for different things for your students, those who are doing CSEC, music and all of that. It is an excellent tool. All right, so ensure that you do your research.
Which
And
software is that, please?
we spoke about GarageBand. We spoke
No,
about
the one that the school should buy. I'm just sorry, they just missed me. You broke up a little.
yeah, like the music writing software, the Sibelius
Oh,
and Finale and those.
right. Okay, I agree.
Right, yes. So you can notate what you're doing and hear it back in that format. You can use the different sounds, the synthesized sounds, just to get a feel of what you want. Because sometimes you have it in your head and you're not too sure how it will come out. So you need to experiment. Let me hear it this way. Let me hear it that way. Let me try this software. And as I say, talk with your students, because a lot of them are already able to compose rhythms. They can sit there and come up with some brilliant things. And this is what you want. You want original work from scratch. We have to emphasize that. All right. I think we are almost out of time. Are there any questions?
I don't necessarily have a question, but maybe a suggestion to the OUR. Maybe on the website of the OUR, they could
Yes.
provide some links to the Creative Commons rhythms or sounds that are free of attribution and copyright. To further assist the persons who
Lord, we don't know
want
that,
to
Mr. Bedassi. I'll liaise with Mr. Silpa, see if he has any suggestions that we can provide.
Yes, because I know a lot of persons are going to just put it onto rhythms that are copyrighted. So maybe that's something that would help.
You mean
Yeah.
the ones who are not at this workshop?
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. Because I think persons usually think they can just use things and it's okay, but we know copyright is now a big thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if you have been
But
following what is happening with Twitch. They have been taking down a lot of streams because I don't know if is it the RICA found some problems. So we want to avoid that.
Okay. On our end, we also have to be careful as a regulator to not seem to be endorsing any particular site. We're very careful about things like that.
That is true.
So in offering suggestions, it may be conceived as an endorsement. I remember when we were doing the the area code, because it was OER that introduced the additional area code for Jamaica, and there were some apps that were developed, and person was saying, promote the app so we can know what we can use to convert our numbers in our phones to add the 876. And we're like, we don't want to do that because it may seem like an endorsement. Yeah.
Thank you.
But the information about the competition itself is very visible on our website. So there's a banner. There is a vertical banner on our homepage on the right side, and you click on it and it takes you into our jingle competition page.
What we could do though, Dale, is to encourage conversations with other music teachers to just let me know what it is that we are doing, what it is that's happening, different means that you can use and so on, so that they're not just in the, sending something on an established rhythm. Because I understand I understand perfectly what Elizabeth is. You have to be careful with that from their end.
True, understand.
All right, so we have gone through characteristics of an excellent jingle. It should be short, it should be simple, it should be catchy, it has a hook. It's giving a strong message, it's giving pertinent information, relevant information in a short space of time, and it is memorable. You turn off the device and you're still hearing it. It stays with you, it's memorable. And we have gone through our elements. We looked at rhythm, pitch, melody, harmony, tempo, form. We looked at the content base, the OUR. What is the OUR? What is the OUR? Right. Excellently demonstrated there by Hoshama. And fitting words into music. And might I just say that there is no one way that it has to be done when you're right. Some persons come with their lyrics first, like that is what comes to you first. And then you find music to write it. It can be the other way around, all right? There's no right or wrong way to do it. And depending on how it comes to you, you roll with it, all right? If it is that you find that you are hearing a nice rhythm, and then afterwards you put lyrics to it, that is fine. It's not a right or a wrong way, all right? The things that are fixed are the rules and regulations, the characteristics that the jingle must have, the information that you're going to give about the OUR, the limitations of your jingle being 1 minute. Those are things that you have to ensure that you cover those bases. All right. So I want to thank you very much for participating. I think I got participation from everybody except maybe Damien. And I see N. Blake and Miss McPherson, who I didn't meet. Thank you for being here. Thank you all for participating. It has been fun. It would only be better if we were live, seeing on, and we did have a good time together. I enjoyed presenting to you. I hope that all right, so get your student board, get yourself ready, get your information, be armed with information, go to the OUR website, read, ensure that you're armed and ready, and start composing. Thank you very much and enjoy the rest of the day. Oh, Elizabeth.
Thank you so much, Avery Cruz. Can we get a round of applause for Avery? Can we just loosen that mute button and just give a round of applause for it? We don't get this a lot in virtual, you know, because, you know, but thank you so much. I certainly appreciate that. I know I learned a lot today, but hey, I probably the least experience of all of you here today. And I really, really appreciate it. I wanted to shout out your school in our chat, because I know we do have quite a few. I know Fern Court is represented. I don't know how many other schools are represented. I really, yes, Mr. Silpot. What do you call that? What do you call that? What's the musical
these
instrument?
are called maracas.
Maracas.
AKA shakers.
Yes, or shaky, shaky, as we say in the country. Shaky, shaky. You know that, right? So I'm seeing the schools represented here today. I see Holland High, I see Fern Court, York Castle, Troy High, Orcharias, Peter. I hope you're grabbing these. Orcharias High, Waterford High. Who else is represented today? Which other schools are represented today? I know we have more schools represented, man. And which region? So unmute and just tell me. Holland High, which region? I know it's Trelawney, but I don't know the region. So help me out.
Region 3.
Region 3. Which other schools in Region 3 represented here today?
Fortress High.
Ocho Rios High. Woo-hoo.
Your Castle High.
Your Castle
But
High.
I think Westwood is in
The
there as
Fern
well.
Court High School.
The Fern Court High School. All right. Westwood is here. Nice. Troy, Region 3. Which other school? Any other school? Waterford High School, that's Region 1?
That's in Portmore.
Yeah, that's which region? Yeah, I know Waterford. I don't know it, but I know where it is. But which region? Which region is that? 6. Nice, nice, wonderful. So we have good representation here today. So we're going on to other regions as well. Feel free to tell persons about it. Mr. Silpot and the other regional officers would know what the link is for the other two. So we're having one this Friday, same time, 10 to 12. And we're having another one hopefully next week, Thursday. We're planning that one as well. So feel free to tell persons. It's not, even though we may be targeting regions for those, anybody, Arden High is in the house. Thank you so much. How we're going to get through to you guys after this, because we want to be able to send you information about the competition. If you have any queries, gsjingle@gmail.com. gsjingle@gmail.com. But we want to be able, so if you can drop your email, those who haven't done so before, please drop it now. Thealdra Forrester, thank you so much. I think that's the 5th one that I have, even though everybody else, I don't know the schools that are represented. Thealdra, so I don't know which school that is and so on. So I'm going to hope. We also had circulated the registration form before this. So we want to get a good handle on the school that you're representing, as well as your name and your contact. So we want to match the names to the schools so that we can push out information to you. Do you have any other questions as we prepare to wrap up? It's 12 on the dot. 12, Landila School for Special Education. Oh, awesome, awesome. Thank you so much for connecting with us. Is there any other questions that you will have? No, it's a good, or for myself or for Avery Crooks, or even for Matthew Stillpot.
Can churches join?
It's open. This is open category. Anybody. The only main criterion, are you a Jamaican? Go for it. It's open. So church is definitely. I know that group. What's the name of that group? Somebody remind me that. Oh, for the last 2 years they've entered our festival competition. Not gospel festival. Down in Augustown. What's the name of them? Escarpment. Anybody know that group? Escarpment Road. You don't know the song? What? Okay. So yes, churches can join. The most beautiful singers, I think, come out of churches.
Okay, so one question. So that means that you don't necessarily have to be a part of an organization then. You can.
You don't.
Okay.
You don't. As I said, there are 2 categories in which you can enter. The open category, which is for mainly young adults and over, and the schools category targeting secondary, tertiary level students, as well as music clubs. So you don't have to be a part of an institution to enter. No, not at all. Not at all. You can be totally disconnected. And if you're the teacher, you can enter in the open category, and you can have a student or students enter in the students category.
Okay, thank you.
So you can hedge your bet greater. So you have a greater chance of winning in the open category, as well as maybe cupping some of the money in the students category. Because if your student places 1st or 2nd, then the teacher also gets money. Yeah. Any other questions? Okay, so without further ado, I want to thank the regions for this one that helped us to put this together. Mr. Bedassi and Mr. Delroy Williams from regions 3 and 4. Mr. Matthew Silpot, thank you so much for your invaluable help. I continue to appreciate it. Avery Crooks, really enjoyed the workshop today. Looking forward to the other 2 that we have set up. Again, feel free to contact us after this. Of course, our OUR members who are here today, our Director of Consumer and Public Affairs, Yvonne Nicholson, she popped in and then she popped back out. Gordon Brown started the session with us, but he had to leave because we had a radio program that we were doing, so he had to go to that one. And Peter Gay Campbell, who is the main coordinator for this, you'll be hearing a lot from her. She's the one who is interfacing mainly with the schools. Thank you so much, Peter Gay. So wish you all the best. Continue to keep safe in these very unusual times. And I know it's a challenging time, but take care. And we really, really look forward to getting some awesome submissions from you and your students. Thank you all. Take
Hi,
care.
so before you leave,
Yes, yes, Peter Gay.
really, really need your email address and the name that is connected with that email address. Please, please, please submit if you haven't done so.
You want them to do that in the chat now, Peter?
Yes, please submit to the chat, please. Thanks.
Yes.
Peter, again, which email you need? The personal or you need the school's email?
Whichever one you access mainly, because you know there are some challenges with the.
Sorry, Liz.
Yes, yes.
Liz, let them submit the personal email. It's easy to get to them.
Yes, I think so
Yes.
too. I think so too. So the personal ones, it's just shoot it now. Thealdra, okay, we know it's Arden for Thealdra, so that's good. And Arden has an awesome choir, you know, boy. Looking forward to getting something. So, and Troy, Nadia, I don't think we have your email. We know you're from Troy High. So if you can give us that as well. Warren, we don't have Westwood. If you can put that into the chat as well.
I can send you his email.
Okay. Ferncourt, did we have Mark? I think we have Mark. Did we have? Yes, Ferncourt. Mark Nicholas? No. Yes. Mark Nicholas F. That's Ferncourt, yes?
Yes, yes.
Waterford, Miss McPherson. Okay, I have Miss McPherson, Waterford.
Warren did not put his email address. Warren, please put your email address, please.
Yes, from Westwood. Diamond Samuels, can you give us your email address from Orcharius High? Troy, hi, that's Nadia. Okay, Westwood High is now in, awesome. Westwood is such a beautiful school.
You see, it's in the region of Trailblazers, so like all the schools.
All right, okay, Mr. Townsend. Yeah, go on, so, all right.
Williams.
Get fit, because you have some steps to climb.
Yeah, but yeah, that definitely keeps you fit. Paul Wilson, which school is this, Paul? Pardon me, which school? Oh, Cedric Titus, oh. Peter Gay, you good now?
No, I don't have any from Mark Forrest. Mr. Mark Forrest, is he still here?
Oh, Ferncourt High. Yeah, man.
It's there.
He did. Mark Nicholas F. Ferncourt High.
All right, let me resend it.
Tiana White, which school are you? Is Tiana still with us? And Hoshama, wow, she gave me goosebumps. I don't have any for Holland High. Okay.
Yes, I sent it directed to Peter Gay.
Oh, you did. Thank you. And your Castle, maybe Peter Gay has it as well. Okay.
White, she's from the Ferncourt High School also.
Shanika, did you send your Shanika?
No, send what exactly? Should I send like my email?
You can
or,
send it in our email address. Through
or
our
I can,
email address.
I can put it in the chat right now.
Yeah, man, you can just do that because I want to just wrap up now. We won't keep everybody for much longer.
All right.
All right, so thank you all again. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. And we look forward to getting those jingles, and feel free to contact us via email. Peter Gay will be, she responds very quickly to your queries. And our numbers are listed. Visit our email address, our website. I'm so sorry, hunger kicking in now. Visit our website, our.org.jm, and access all the information. We have it all on one page. We have a flyer we have a website banner on our homepage. You click on that and it takes you into the page, and you can read the competition rules. Entry forms, you must have to submit your entries with an entry form. Make sure you pay attention to the correct entry form, whether it's open or students category entry forms. We also have the the guaranteed standards for JPS and NWC on that page. Very important that you read it up, because we want to ensure that when you create your lyrics, it's pertinent to the guaranteed standards and not just a generic jingle about light bill too high and water short and the whole 9 yards. You have to focus on the guaranteed standards jingle content. And we look forward to hearing from you. So we're going to the site, or our.org.jm, our.org.jm. If you forget it, just thank you, Peter. You just put it in the Google search and it will come up. And as I said, there is a banner on our homepage, our jingle competition banner. You click on it and it takes you into the page, and all the information that you need to know is on that page. gsjingle@gmail.com is our email address. We respond very quickly. So shoot us any queries that you will have after this. You're talking with the students, new questions arise, shoot us an email. We're only too happy to assist you. All right, guys, we're logging out now. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much too.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you very much.
Castle Shama.
Bye, everybody. Where is that button?